The economy is literally on life support. Let's talk about it.
Hey folks, Prepper Princess. So it seems that online we cannot get an accurate count of what the current unemployment is. But most people or most websites are stating that it's around 50 million. With a population of 300,000, that's 1/6 of the population. However, that does not take into account people who have stopped looking for work, people who work independently, people who are on welfare and government programs, as well as people on Social Security or disability. So my guess is that the true unemployment population is around 50%. That is a huge amount, and there's a lot of people out there saying that things are going to get better, everything's going to open up, there's going to be a huge boom. I have a tendency to disagree. Right now, as you know, there is a huge divide between the left and the right around election time, and it seems that there is a virus that comes out right around election time every 4 years as well. So I cannot put all of the pieces together. I literally cannot figure it out. What is this? What is this virus that would shut down the world economy? And I can't come up with a straight answer. I've done tons of research. I'm sure that you all have as well. Hours and hours upon hours of research, and there are no definitive answers. The only thing that we can go with is our gut instinct. And my gut instinct for the last year has been telling me that we are on the verge of something. I don't know what that is. Something. I'm sure that you all feel it in your gut too, that something's coming, something bad. People who are aware and pay attention to the economics and the politics of our country, people who believe in the Constitution, something isn't feeling right, something feels wrong, something feels like something is coming. I just don't know what it is yet. With all of the unemployment, with the coronavirus shutdown, with the stock markets being so volatile, with the hyperinflation that seems to have hit our supermarkets, along with any sort of leisure activity, at least in my area, the only thing that I can really come up with is the fact that we all need to tighten our belts. I have been on this frugal living, low-cost journey for the last 14 years, and I think that I have finally gotten to the point where I have reduced my bills and my expenses as low as they possibly can go. I have absolutely zero debt, no student loans, no medical debt, no credit cards, no car loan, no mortgage. I have $0 in debt. I have taken all of my utilities and diminished them as much as humanly possible. I have mini split AC units, which are the most efficient units that you can purchase for living in the desert. I keep my lights off unless I'm filming. I have a 11.6 cubic foot apartment-sized refrigerator. I have my water heater set on low, which in the desert in the summer, you don't really even need hot water, but it is set at the absolute minimum. I use my solar as much as I possibly can. I cook outside using my solar oven, my All-American Sun oven, as much as possible. I haven't even had the gas turned on to my house because they want to charge a connection fee. So I've been cooking on a camp stove for the last 3 months indoors. I do not have a microwave. I mean, I filter my own water using a Berkey. I don't buy bottled water. I shop at thrift stores and only at thrift stores. I use my credit card rewards points after paying it off on a bi-weekly basis. I use my rewards points to purchase Christmas gifts. The list goes on, and it seems like the prices are getting higher and higher. And the only way for Americans to get ahead on the other side of whatever it is that is coming is to tighten your belts, is to become more frugal. I'm sorry to say that most people do not want to give up their luxuries. They don't understand how. And I'm hoping that you are all visiting this channel so that you can learn that type of thing, that you do not have to live without in order to be happy. Once you're debt free, the world is literally your oyster. You have so much freedom Can you imagine a life with no credit card, student loan, medical debt, with no car payment, with no house payment? Imagine all that you could accomplish if you had that all paid off. I paid that off 14 years ago. Okay, and I've been debt-free ever since. Since then, I've been accumulating my wealth so that I never have to work again. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to work again or that I am not currently working, but it means that I have the option to not to do that. It's my choice. It's not that I am being forced into a job that I hate. I'm doing what I want. So the numbers never seem to add up, ever. So as you know, most people are getting an additional $600 per week as part of the stimulus through unemployment. A lot of these workers are making more not working than they are working. So what is the ultimate agenda that our government is trying to promote? My guess, only a guess, is socialism. Because if you get people dependent on the government, then the government controls the people. They're looking for more control of the people. This is something that is extremely scary for those of us who have worked our entire lives and want to be self-sufficient, self-sustaining. We want less laws and less regulation. We want to be able to carry our firearms wherever we want. We want to be able to have our money go to specific causes that we are passionate about, as opposed to other places where we feel that our money is being wasted, or where we feel that we are not in the same sync with those organizations that we are forcefully taxed to support. I don't know how else to put it. But, you know, control the people, control their finances, control their luxuries, and you control the world. And I believe that this is part of the NWO globalization that people have been talking about since 20 years ago. And it's like a frog in a pot. You put a frog in a pot and you slowly turn up the temperature, and by the time the frog realizes that it's cooked, it's too late. So what they do is they slowly erode our rights. They do it out of fear. I mean, 9/11, as you may or may not know, was most likely an inside job so that they could legally go into our private lives, our private files on the internet, find out anything and everything that they want to about each United States American citizen. Travel is extremely difficult. I mean, who wants to go to the hassle? Now you have to have you have to have permission on your license in order to travel. Like, to get on an airplane, you have to have a special license in order to do that. So now they can track wherever we travel via airplane, which they never were able to do that before. It's kind of funny. They would have never even thought of doing that before 9/11. And yeah, so that was that. That's what I think that was for. The 9/11 was to be able to get all of our information without our consent. And then you've got this whole coronavirus thing going on now. I haven't seen any of our rights taken away, but I am seeing more of the U.S. population dependent on the government. The government is able to, or the Fed is able to just print money up. It comes out of thin air. Poof, it's magic, and everybody has money, which leads to inflation. So they're giving away all of this money to these people who are trying to keep the economy going. And yes, credit cards are rising. People are purchasing things at Walmart, Amazon, Best Buy. They're not putting that money towards debt. They're not putting that money into a savings account. They're simply spending it on junk that's going to be obsolete in 2 years anyway. So I don't know what to tell you, folks. I mean, this has been going on for a long time, and hopefully the coronavirus is a little bit of a wake-up call for a particular portion of the population who can maybe change their gluttonous ways and learn to live on less, because I honestly and truly believe that living on less is the only way that you can get ahead in this world. I I don't know. Tell me what you guys think in the comments section. Do you think this is a plan to take away more of our rights? Do you think that this is a plan to slowly direct the United States towards more socialism so that the government can control the people? Do you think that it's a way to find people more complacent in not working than it is in working? Do you think it is intended to deter entrepreneurship? Is this something where our tax dollars are going to be forcefully taken from us in order to provide for people who no longer want to look for work? I am just curious. I'm a bit disturbed. I am very concerned with where our country is headed. And it seems like we're running out of options at this point. I mean, they're even making it to the point where living off grid is almost impossible with the permits, the rules, the regulations. You must have septic. You cannot do a composting toilet. You are required to be on city sewage. You are required to have water. You cannot do water hauls. You are required to have water pumped to your home with a cost or a bill of $20,000 to $25,000. Just to have that piping created to go to your home. It's becoming, oh my God, it's so frustrating. So what is the ultimate goal? What is the goal with all of this? I don't understand what the goal is. Is the goal to make it more difficult for Trump to become president? Is the goal for, and I don't understand why the Democrats and the Republicans are fighting so much. We should be trying to unify together as a nation. We're all Americans. We all want the best for our people. So let's just get our stuff together and get it going. All right, folks. I don't think that that's all that I have. People are going more and more into debt. The mortgages, I believe it's like 30 million, I believe I read the other day, or maybe 100 million, I don't know. Millions of people are in forbearance on their mortgage for up to 3 months. And despite what people think, I hope that they are reading the fine print when they're signing on the dotted line that states that at the end of the forbearance, you have to pay it all back in one lump sum. It does not go to the end of your mortgage where you just add on a few months at the end. No, it's all due at a specific amount of time. People are just spending. They're spending more now that they have less. Like, people have even less money, but they're spending even more of it. And, our government isn't exactly creating a great example with our multi-trillion dollars worth of debt and just constant money printing. They need to set a better example. We need to get out of debt as a country. We need to get out of debt as a people. We need to take back our country. Do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out.